What is up, everyone? How's it going? It is war game season, which means we're going to have these two huge, massive matches with absolutely no stakes. People will argue about it and make a lot of noise about it online, complaining about their faves losing, or dare I say, their fave taking the pin. But ultimately, these matches have no actual stakes. But we'll talk about it, we'll argue about it, and I'll tell you why you should probably just stop altogether. They should just stop doing war games for a while because it's leading to diminishing returns, if you ask me. But that's just my thought. But we can discuss it as we go through the 4-match card, and we can talk about the IWC and how they're bitching about various things, like the clear and obvious outcome of the matches. Apparently, we'll dive into that. Do me a favor, hit like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and let's talk about good old war games. It's happening every year now, whether it makes sense or not. With no rhyme, no reason. Hey, we need to have war games Survivor Series, so let's put together a match with random team members. We'll just put them together, and they'll come together for a few weeks. They'll win or lose, and then they'll split up, like always. Oh yeah, new layout. Just messing around with some stuff, checking some things out, seeing how it works. Having a good spring break, y'all. Spring break. Dude, you're in the wrong season, my guy. Wrong season. Okay, so I've seen some people complaining about storytelling here. Now, I always say, I'll say it again, time and time again, war games has no stakes. You don't get anything. You don't win anything. There's nothing on the line, really. Whether a war games match is good or not is based solely on the story beats within the match. What are the characters doing? What are the interactions between the characters? And how does that carry on beyond the actual match? For example, the last time we had a significant war games match that was good, truly, from a storytelling perspective, probably back in the height of the Bloodline storyline, when Sami Zayn, I believe it was War Games, when he chose the heels, he chose the Usos and Roman over Kevin Owens. That was a big storyline moment of that match, I believe. Could be wrong, but I think that was that time. But beyond that, nothing really significant. Bayley did have a solid one not too long ago during the height of Damage Control story. Remember, Bayley was running around, breaking up the pins and saving her teammates during the match. Ended up losing, but ultimately she felt she was alone and her friends abandoned her, even though she was making all the saves and making all the pin breakups during the match. That was solid because then it carried over into Mania season with her challenge of Io and winning the Rumble. So actually, that War Games was solid for the women because it had that one singular storyline, that singular story beat of Bayley turning, or Bayley saving her teammates, but they don't really care about her, leaving her out to dry. You know, she ended up taking the pin. She took all the finishers, I believe. That was solid storytelling. But beyond that, War Games are pretty dull. Now, leading into this year's War Games for the women, you had what I thought was the good setup originally. You had Asuka and Kairi Sane and their relationship with Io Sky being tested because Rhea Ripley was getting involved with Io Sky. Big sister Asuka did not like that. So Asuka tried to separate Io from Rhea Ripley. Didn't work out well. Asuka ended up turning on Io. All that was solid. Kairi Sane being in the middle, her struggle and her turmoil, trying to decide what she should do. All that was solid, and it was going somewhere, and then it kind of just stopped leading into War Games. Why? I don't know. Maybe they didn't want Asuka and Kairi leading the promos, because ultimately it kind of shifted towards, I'm not even sure what it shifted towards. Because right now it's basically Becky AJ Lee right now. But even before that, it's like a lull of kind of like nothing of substance really with the War Games build. Now it's truly the AJ Becky show. And I know some folks are upset about that because you have what was started off as a good storyline with Asuka, Kairi, and Io, and how Rhea Ripley was kind of in there, and now it's about AJ talking shit to Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch is basically the leader now. If you watched what happened on the latest episode of SmackDown, she was talking. Was it SmackDown? It was Raw. She was leading on the mic, talking up her teammates, doing her Trump routine, which is entertaining, but she's ultimately taken over. Now it's the Becky AJ show. If that was the build the entire time, that'd be one thing, but it wasn't. And now we just have to accept that Asuka, Kairi, and Io, that storyline has been pushed to the back burner, and AJ Lee and Becky's pushed to the forefront. Now, if the match has some solid, interesting story beats between AJ and Becky, then fine, whatever. But I think the build has not been great, and I don't have any real confidence that the story beats in the match will be very good. I don't think Rhea Ripley will be given anything of substance. I doubt they're going to do anything with the Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley stuff. Maybe they're going to have some Asuka Io interactions, but will it be strong stuff? Honestly, I think the bulk of the story beats this weekend will be with AJ and Becky Lynch. Not so much with Nia or Lash. They'll be in the back burner for sure. They won't have any story beats of note. Will there be any tension between Charlotte and Rhea Ripley or Charlotte and Alexa? We'll see. But honestly, I'm thinking it's just going to be AJ and Becky having some type of interaction, which will then lead to whatever they're doing later on, whether it evolves the IC title or not. But the Becky Lynch AJ feud will continue. So that'll probably be the strongest story stuff happening in that match. Who wins? Ultimately, who cares, right? Let me pull up this image. Just yapping away. Let me pull up. Here's our teams. You see Charlotte, you see Rhea, you see AJ, you see Alexa, you see Io, versus Last Legend, who is being booked very strong these days. Nia, Becky, Asuka, Kairi. Folks, it'll be the AJ Becky show for the storyline in that match. And that's probably it. This year, WarGames needed factions as the focal point. The Division's only two guys. You know, they don't like to give the women a good story in the WarGames. The men will have a ton of it, though. Yeah, for the most part, the strongest one was probably the Bayley stuff. That was okay. Leading up to the Royal Rumble win, when she was running around making saves for her teammates, but ultimately she got left high and dry. That was okay. Becky Lynch hugging Charlotte Flair, them coming together in WarGames, that was okay. Yeah, I remember last Chamber that happened this year, they had that big thing with Jade Cargill. They had a lot of investment in that, a lot of storytelling in that, where she come down, she attacks Naomi. That was good stuff. But the women haven't gotten a really very, very strong story beat in WarGames for a while. So am I missing something? Charlotte hugging Becky Lynch, Bayley running around saving damage control. Am I missing something for WarGames with the women? I can't remember. I think that's it. They should build up the vision more. We'll talk about the guys in a second. What happened with the storyline with Asuka? It got put on the back burner during the build for whatever reason. I don't know. Will it pick up afterwards? I don't know. It's really weird. Yeah, Asuka and Kairi are the tag team champions. Can I see Rhea Ripley and Io going for those belts? Yes. But they basically put it on the back burner. They really have. Again, Asuka and Kairi have been shafted for the AJ Becky stuff, I think. Ever since they got injured, I stopped caring about the vision. Is it Seth? Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But who wins this women's match? Who cares? Again, there's no stakes. Would I like to see the women win? Sure. Well, the women. Would I like to see the heels win here? Sure. But ultimately doesn't matter. What matters is there an actual storyline here. What would I do if I were booking it? What would I do? Let's see. If I were booking it, I'd have Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley not on the same page. Why not just do that? You already teased it, so why not have that happen in the match? You have Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley having some disagreements, how to get things done. You have definitely got to have that Asuka EO moment, that solo moment in the ring. You're definitely going to have that AJ Becky moment as well. You can have Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley's. The problem is they're on separate shows. Charlotte's on SmackDown, Rhea Ripley's on Raw. So any strong story beat between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair can't be capitalized on anyway. It can't be enjoyed going forward because they're on separate brands. So is it even smart to really dive into that? They just have a little moment and then be done with it because you can't carry it on. You need to have story beats that can continue on past War Games. So Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, don't really focus on it that much because they're not on the same brand. Definitely focus strong on the Asuka, Kairi, EO stuff. That's what they should do. And the Becky Lynch, AJ stuff. Everything else can pretty much be ignored storyline-wise, I think. Who wins? I'll go the Babyfaces team. Tell me that even though I hope the heels win just because, I have a hard time believing a Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, AJ Lee, Io Sky lineup will lose. So that's that. But why not have the heels win? Doesn't really matter. These matches have no stakes, so who cares? Who's taking the pin? Who's taking the pin? If the heels win, Alexa Bliss. Even though it probably should be Becky pinning AJ, that'd be the biggest statement there. That's what I would do. If the heels win, you have Becky pin AJ or Asuka pin Io. If the faces win, which is probably what's going to happen, I'd have I wouldn't have AJ pinning Becky again. I wouldn't have Rhea Ripley. She doesn't need that pin. None of them need it. None of them need it. Yeah, who knows for the faces? Who pins? I mean, I guess you have to have maybe Io pin Asuka, and that pushes forward the tag team title challenge of Io Rhea Ripley against the Kabuki Warriors. I don't know. Charlotte turns heel on Asuka. I don't love it. They've done such good work. Charlotte Flair. I don't need her to turn heel anytime soon, especially since Charlotte Flair will be feuding with Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill needs all the baby faces she can get. Turning Charlotte Flair heel is a problem. Correct, Maya. Correct. I would do a spot where Charlotte Flair does a big boot to like Asuka, and Asuka moves and she hits Rhea Ripley. Solid stuff. That makes sense. And Asuka roundhouse kick Charlotte and have her lock her in an Asuka lock. That worked. I just worry about focusing a lot on the Charlotte Rhea Ripley stuff. They should acknowledge it. There should be a moment, but not that much because, again, Charlotte is on SmackDown, Rhea is on Raw. You can't really continue the storyline going forward. All the major story beats, all the major character moments should be about what can come after War Games. If not, what's the point? These matches have no stakes. They have no. Okay, let's move on. We'll be talking about the women all day long, I'm sure. Let's talk about the men's War Games match now. Oop. Okay, here we go. The men's War Games that was supposed to have Seth Rollins in it, and they pivoted because he got hurt. Now you have Brock, Bronson, Braun, Logan Paul, and Drew McIntyre. I wonder who would have been out of that. Probably Drew. If Seth is healthy, probably Drew's not in there. Taking on, well, it depends on. Yeah, because Drew was supposed to be feuding with Jacob Fatu, but Jacob Fatu got injured as well, right? Taking on the Usos, Roman, Logan, Cody Rhodes, not Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk. So both world champions for the men are on team here. And in the women's WarGames, none of the world champions are in there. It's funny. So WarGames for the men, both world champions. For the women, no world champions. Don't know how I feel about that. Honestly, don't know. Brock Lesnar. I could see a scenario where Brock walks out. He just walks out on his team. Maybe 4-5, and then the babyfaces win. That wouldn't shock me if Brock walked out. Like to book Brock very, very strong. So if Brock is in there, he'll be a force of nature and a problem for the babyfaces. So the way to ride him out is for him to just walk out on his team. They can do that very easily. A team with CM Punk, Cody, and Roman is kind of OP in terms of power scaling. Is OP. Those three don't take many losses, especially when it comes to losing clean or losing the way that puts them down, which means Jimmy Uso would probably take the pin here, or Jay, if they lost. I'm going to say that the division is, I don't know if Logan Paul is an official member of the division. If he is, they may want to establish the division here. But again, that trio of Roman, Cody, CM Punk, I have a hard time seeing them lose, especially when you have Roman Reigns, who's a part-timer. It's not like you can have a story beat with Roman Reigns and Cody, because Roman Reigns is going on break again. He's going on break once the match is over. You know that. So, I'm going to say that babyfaces win, because I just don't see, I have a hard time betting against the Cody, CM Punk, Roman lineup there. Again, I can see Brock Lesnar walking down to the team, leaving them high and dry. I can see Logan Paul taking a pin here. But ultimately, I don't care who wins. I don't care who wins or who gets pinned. What I care about is story beats. So, what we got here? Let's see. Drew McIntyre hates CM Punk. If they're continuing that, definitely has some type of interaction there. Brock Lesnar has plenty of history with Cody and Roman Reigns especially. They'll have a moment for sure. Bronson Reed with Roman. What could happen here? Maybe Jey Uso gets full of himself and makes a mistake, and because they have been teasing Jey turning heel, maybe they have a storyline beat where Jey Uso turns. Maybe could that be the big talking point? Could gotta have some type of like big storyline talking point to end the show. One year it was Randy Orton returning and CM Punk returning, right? Last year, I don't remember what happened. Wasn't it the one with Roman and CM Punk on the same team and CM Punk had that favor, something like that? The CM Punk favor. So I can see something involving Jay here. For the faces. For the heels, Rock walking out, but who really cares? It's not really a story beat. Like, who cares? Is Braun Breaker gonna run down Brock Lesnar? Hey, Brock, got a problem with you walking out on us, challenge you at Mania? I don't see that happening. But yeah, Jey Uso is a solid pick for a storyline beat there. Or maybe, I don't know. Roman Reigns is a part-timer. Probably have a beat with Cody. Okay, they did tease on Raw the Cody Roman dynamic. Will they get along? He hates them. I don't like you, CM Punk. I don't like you, Cody Rhodes, right? So will they shake hands? Will they have a hug? Will they come together in some way? I don't know. CM Punk heel turn? Not a chance. WWE's trademarked tribal air. The follow feud with Jey Uso. Will Jey turn heel? Will Roman Reigns regret giving Jey Uso advice? Could ultimately Jey turns heel on Roman Reigns? What if Punk turns heel on the team to join the Vision? Good guy CM Punk joining Logan Paul in the Vision? I don't see it. Jimmy or Jey will challenge Roman for the tribal chief name. Guess it'll probably be Jey. Yeah, I can see Jey turning heel. Punk is too over to turn heel. I agree. I think this. Let the Vision cook as it is. I guess let Roman Reigns be the face with Cody and CM Punk, and then let Bronson and Brock and Braun Breaker do the heel stuff. I guess Brock Lesnar is just like this, the boogeyman heel over there right now, who hasn't been pinned since he came back recently, right? So yeah, I don't think you need Punk turning heel right now, especially with Seth Rollins' interview. He says he hopes to be back around February or leading into Mania. You don't want. Well, he'll probably be a face then as well. But no, I don't think CM Punk needs to turn heel. I think the Vision loses because they need Braun away from the title for a while. And if they win, he needs to be near the title. Like, what do you mean? He doesn't have to take the pin. He didn't have to get the pin. Braun doesn't. So I mean, who gets pinned on the heel team here? Probably Logan Paul. Who gets pinned on the face team? Jimmy or Jey. Simple stuff. But yeah, I think the most interesting thing would probably be Jey turning heel. Yeah, Logan getting pinned for sure on that heel team. I think Jimmy or Jey get pinned, and I think Jimmy would probably be the more likely to get pinned. Jey Uso needs to turn heel, or just do something interesting with him. I don't know. Look, we need a top heel champion. We got two baby faces on both brands. Need a top heel champion. Well, you would have had one with Seth. These are all pivots. CM Punk being champion is a pivot. So that wasn't supposed to be the case. Would have been Seth and Cody. But yeah, I don't think they're going to do a title change anytime soon. I would love to see Drew McIntyre beat Cody Rhodes, but that's not happening. So it is what it is. Yes, it was Seth. He got hurt. Okay, let's talk about another match. Nikki Bella taking on Stephanie Vaquer, as she would say. Stephanie Vaquer. This, I believe, will be Stephanie Vaquer's first PLE title defense. She defended the title against Raquel Rodriguez. So I'm thinking this is her first defense on a PLE. There are some who believe Nikki Bella will win this, because I always say it's better to be chasing under Triple H. Now Nikki Bella is chasing, which is why she has the agency in the actual character moments. And Stephanie Vaquer has been laid out on the ground doing a lot of nothing. Had a little vignette other day that we recorded. Nothing of any substance. I have a hard time believing Stephanie's going to lose. Simply because it's her first PLE title defense. If it was her second or third, maybe. Because again, it's better to be chasing. It's better to be chasing. It is better to be chasing under Triple H. But right now, I'd say Stephanie's pretty safe. She beat Io Sky clean. Having her lose to Nikki Bella right away would be kind of silly. They have more respect for Stephanie Becerra brand and her status right now than to have her lose that quickly. So I say she retains. Forgot this match was happening. Honestly, about to laugh, but not that shocking if you did. It's not really being promoted that heavily, I don't think. Not the major storyline. It's WarGames right now. I think Maxine and Becky got more promo than this. But yeah, I don't see Stephanie Becerra dropping her belt so quickly. I mean, how long has this reign been? How long has this reign been? Wikipedia will tell me right away. Let's see. $65 longer than I thought, actually. But yeah, it hasn't been any significant. It hasn't been significant at all. I don't see it. I believe her reign is longer than Jey Uso, so anything's possible. But Nikki Bella, not for Nikki. Not for Nikki. Yeah, about 2 months. I would love to know why WWE can't book title reigns to save their lives. Not that they can't, they choose not to. Because Triple H would prefer to book the chase. So for him, the title reign is the pinnacle. That's the climax. That's the end of the chapter. When I say title reign, I mean them winning the belt. So for example, Maxine Dupri, her biggest moment was winning the belt. Now it's all downhill. When I said that, the stands got upset on Twitter, but I stand by that. It's downhill from here. Already saw what happened on Raw. Got our first dose of the 1 minute backstage segment. We'll be getting many of those going forward. Okay, she won the belt. That was the pinnacle, and now it comes down for her. That's his reality situation. Triple H would prefer to book the chase. Like to book the rise. Maxine got her rise. She had a 3-match storyline with Becky Lynch. She beat Becky at Madison Square Garden. There'll be no higher moment for her. It's downhill for her reign. I don't know how to say it. That's pretty clear based on how he books. Not anything personal with Maxine Dupri. Is how he books. Her biggest moment was winning the belt at MSG. Jey Uso's biggest moment was defeating Gunther. And then once he gets bored, or once he's ready to book the next rise, next person chasing, the reign goes downhill. You saw Maxine being confronted by Ivy Nile. She got confronted by Roxanne Perez. This will be her reign going forward until they're ready to put the belt on Natalya or something like that. Maxine did say that she was going to reach out to Natalya. And I think it'd be a perfect time to bring in the indie version of Natalya and have her beat Maxine. You have heel Natalya with the belt. Why not? Okay. Why not? Fans can be upset, but it is what it is. Is what it is, man. Yeah, Stephanie wins. No doubt in my mind. I'll be surprised. She lost on her first PLE title defense. Because she won the belt against EO here. Won that crown jewel. Beat Raquel on Raw. Yeah, this is her first PLE title defense. She's not losing. La Primera will retain. Am I wrong? Who thinks Nikki Bella is winning? Let's see some hands. Don't be shy. Who thinks Nikki Bella is beating Stephanie this weekend? Nikki winning? Hell no. I don't see it. I'll be shook. I would be shook. If Nikki wins, Stephanie probably wins it back at Rumble. Oh, so Maya thinks. Are you trolling? I see you're trolling. Bella Army. Bella's not winning, I don't think. Would it be shocking? Let me rephrase it. I don't think it'd be shocking because that just means, again, Triple H likes to book the chase. He wanted to put the belt on Nikki Bella to tell some storyline he wants to tell. I would just be surprised if somebody like Stephanie Vaquer, who he likes a lot, loses her first PLE title defense. That's all. That's all. But anyway, there's another match on this Forsaken card. It is John Cena taking on the Dom. I'm gonna tell you straight up, Dom's winning. That's right, I said it. Dom is winning the belt. I think Dom is getting that IC title back. I don't think the IC title will be on the line during his last match against Gunther. All right. I believe Dom will lie and cheat and steal. He will defeat Cena for that belt. I'll be surprised if Cena still has that belt heading into the last match against Gunther or whoever the hell he's facing. If it was Sheamus, then maybe I'd say, maybe he may keep it. Then they put the belt on Sheamus. But that's not happening. Dom is winning that belt back in his hometown of San Diego. I don't know how folks feel about that. Are you upset? Are you annoyed by that? Me, not really. It is what it is. Cena wants to put over younger talent. That's why he's having a bunch of NXT talent on his last show. All about the future. He likes Dom. Dom wins the title back, and that's that. All right. What do you think of that Monday segment? Which Monday segment? I could see in San Diego a split crowd. I could see Dom getting a lot of support because people like to be edgy anyway. They like to cheer for Dom these days anyway, so I wouldn't be shocked. Dom a little stew. I thought it was fine. It was your typical. Was it kind of like Vince era stuff? Sure, but he was a pro wrestler himself. I don't have a big problem with it. It was fine. Some people are annoyed or thinking it's old cliche and not really that well done. I thought it was okay. It was fine. I have a big problem with it. Definitely old school WWE comedy, for real. It was. I don't have that much of an issue with it. Did I love it? No, but I thought it was fine. But anyway, Dom wins. Pretty straightforward. I don't think Cena needs to carry that belt into the last match. I think he likes Dom Mysterio. If anything, I think he's pushing for Dom to win that belt in his hometown. I think Dom wins. I think Dom can get a lot of beating Cena. I think it happens. That segment screamed Bruce Pritchard. Well, Triple H had to sign off ultimately anyway, so. Agreed. If the match is Gunther versus Cena, then why the hell that IC title on the line? Makes no sense. Street saying Liv can also come back to help Dom win the belt. That'd be cool. But I'm guessing the streets are Liv Morgan stands because I doubt any reputable reporter has put that out there. So it's probably just Liv Morgan stands, and that's fine. They can suggest or wish for whatever they want to wish for, you know. And that is pretty much the match, folks, or the match card. It is 4 matches. Now, will the WarGames matches be probably 40 minutes each? Probably. 40 minutes plus? Probably. So it's fine, I guess. 4 matches is fine. Just give me some actual story beats during the show. I'd be happy. What I don't like, when you have 4 matches or 5 matches and they're straightforward, with no intrigue whatsoever, that's when I have a problem. Okay. AJ Lee winning the Rumble, not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell that happens. Becky's great, by the way. She's awesome. All right. I'm done talking about Survivor Series. Am I excited? I'm kind of mad on it. We'll see how it goes. Ultimately, they just have to put in some actual story beats, and I'm gonna, like, you know, I'll be happy. If not, I'll be bitching right along with everybody else. Any questions? Some Liv fans have this illusion that she comes back during the Rumble. It means she'll win it. Not necessarily. Liv Morgan's storyline is with Roxanne Perez, Raquel, and Finn. And Dom. Sorry. I'll be surprised. Now, I'll be surprised no matter what. If the goal is to have babyface Liv Morgan return and face a Jade, that makes sense. Is that going to happen? No, but it would make sense. I believe the person facing Jade should be an underdog, not be Bianca Belair. That's a mistake. Is Jade Cargill only allowed to face black women at Mania? First Naomi, now Bianca. What's happening here? Don't you want to spread that out? You know, spread it out a little bit. I think Jade Cargill's first match at Mania at Champion should be against an actual underdog, not Bianca Belair, who is not an underdog in any Mania singles match, okay? It should be a Liv Morgan or a Lyra Valkyria, someone like that, not a Bianca Belair. It's going to be Naomi and then Bianca back-to-back years. That's kind of weird. Okay, let's just, you know, there are other people beyond black women that Jade can face at Mania, for crying out loud. Let's spread it out. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm just now seeing this. Oh, so Lacey Evans clapped back at Becky. So Becky Lynch said basically didn't think it was a good idea for her to be winning at WrestleMania 35 and facing Lacey Evans of all people, because Lacey Evans was a newcomer to the main roster and wasn't necessarily ready. And Lacey Evans' response was, don't hate the player, hate the game. Smooches. The only person who shot, let me get this right. The only person who shoot cried more than you was the baby I had on my hip while taking all the opportunities. LOL. If/when I come back, you will still do nothing but gently shake my hand and say how cute my little family is backstage. Wow. She took a legitimate shot at Becky Lynch. Now, when it comes to the IWC, now I'm a Becky Lynch fan. When it comes to the IWC, Becky Lynch is loved, so I'm pretty sure the responses on this tweet are pretty scathing and are very, very bad. You were talking about the booking, yes, but let's be clear. Is she talking about the booking? Yes, but she's saying that she shouldn't have been in the match with Lacey Evans. It's still a shot at Lacey. No matter how you slice it, it is a shot at Lacey Evans. To a certain extent. I'm not saying she need to be bothered by it. I'm not saying she should be mad about it, but it is a slot. It is a shot at Lacey Evans. That's what it is. Honestly, not that bad. I was expecting more of an attack at Lacey Evans. It's not really that bad. The only person whose shoot cried more than you was the baby I had on my hip. That's a hell of a line. I love Becky Lynch, but that's a hell of a line right there. You were talking about the booking, but I don't know how you are a professional wrestler with self-respect and read this and think it's not a shot at you. To some extent, I start working with Lacey. I'm assuming this quote is correct. This is Russell Purist, so take it with a grain of salt. Because Russell Purist is not the best. I start working with Lacey Evans right out the gate after Mania 35. God bless her, but she wasn't, for me, that's a shot. Come on. It's a nice shot. She's being respectful about it to a certain extent, but it's a shot. Okay? If you are a pro wrestler and you read that, God bless her, but she wasn't, for me to go from Mania main event to somebody who hadn't done anything was terrible. Yes, that's talking about the booking, but if you're a wrestler and you hear that, you're going to feel the type of way. Let's be clear. Let's not be stupid about it. Let's just be honest. If you are a wrestler and you see that about you, everybody has ego. Everybody has, you're going to feel the type of way about that. No matter how you slice it. No matter how you slice it. Now, Lacey Evans is not coming back. Yeah, she's not. She crazy. It's a shot. It's a shot. We all love Becky Lynch. But that's a shot at Lacey Evans. But she's free to clap back how she wants to clap back. I don't have a problem with her clapping back if she feels disrespected. The Becky Lynch Lacey Evans feud was trash. Yes, Vince did like Lacey Evans. She had potential. I think that heel gimmick was solid. The Southern Belle, there was work that could be done there. I think they had potential there, but it didn't work out. But yeah, it's 100% a shot at Lacey Evans, no matter how you slice it. Let's be real. Becky Lynch just responded to Sam Roberts. So nice to not hear. What the hell is that English, Becky? So nice to hear Sam Roberts on Sirius XM. Okay, that's sentence was crazy. They say he's on vacation, but we know I got him suspended due to awful ratings and poor reporting. Well done, Sirius XM Sports. Let's do Busted Open Radio next. That was funny. That part funny. Trying to get them all suspended. All right, any questions? Lacey Evans versus Bianca Belair. What about it? Rey Mysterio shouldn't announce shit. They're gonna fuck it up so hard, just like Cena's. What do you mean he shouldn't announce what? Oh, Rey Mysterio renouncing. Rey Mysterio announcing a retirement tour? Since when? Why? That's a mistake. He should wait. He should wait for that. I don't agree with that decision. Assuming it's true, I don't agree he should announce a retirement tour right now. He should wait. You should wait until Cena's stuff is done. And you have AJ Styles next year as well. Oh, you're predicting it? I gotcha. They're advertising Rey Mysterio for the 28th. Is he going to be on the show? Is he wrestling? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, any questions? Booyaka 619. Let me take this down. All right, see you later, Pedro. Am I missing anything happened today, news-wise? I don't think so. They're steadily dropping the women's WarGames ad stuff. So NXT, what about it? People are complaining about the lineup for the women's Iron Survivor. I don't understand why. I don't understand the hang up here. Like, what's the issue? Talented women, star power. What is the problem? People are saying it's the same old women. They should, like, who do you want to see here? Who do you want to see here? Carmen Petrovich, bless her heart. Like, who do you want to see here? Thea Hale? Like, what's the issue here? What's the problem? Jordan Grace, Connie Jordan, Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, Kendall Gray. I love that she's in there. She's gonna be a banger. She's gonna be a banger. Who's gonna win? Probably Jordan Grace. Lola Vice. If they're gonna crown her, it would have been earlier in the year when she had that storyline with JC Jane, and they were talking about her family and her upbringing, and her parents were involved. That was the time to do it. They didn't do it. Ruka has the whole storyline with Zarya. Doesn't make sense right now. Connie Jordan coming off the TNA title run doesn't make sense for me. And of course, the Evolve champion, she's not winning it. So I think this is a time that they're gonna put they're gonna give her the win. They're gonna give Jordan Grace this win. And I think Jordan Grace will ultimately beat JC Jane. I think third time or fourth time to charm, whatever the hell it is. You ready? Locked in. She's winning it. How many times can she lose? A lot, apparently. I think it was like 3 times. I could be wrong. Maybe it was just 2, and it feels like it's 3. Winning the Iron Survivor and Zarya screwing her, that's possible. I'll give you that. Is that a satisfying use of the Iron Survivor? Maybe not. But I can see that happening for sure. I can see Zarya being jealous that Sol Ruka is in there. Sol Ruka winning the Iron Survivor, and then Zarya screwing her. But if that's going to happen, I don't know. It depends. We'll see. I still think Jordan Grace is the favorite here, but I can see a Sol Ruka winning. Backstage segment recently, this showed Ethan Page talking to Sol Ruka. That doesn't scream Sol Ruka winning. That story beat of him talking about how she needs to ditch Zarya. That doesn't feel like a Sol Ruka winning storyline for me. Feel like a Zarya thing, her and Zarya stuff for sure, but I don't see that as this is a prelude to her winning the Iron Survivor. I don't see that. This is Io Sky, by the way. Folks are wondering, this is Io. How do I know? She's wearing the goddamn same dress she's wearing outside. That's the thing. They were videotaped outside. Okay, that's Io Sky, clearly. There's other obvious reasons why it's her, but let's focus on the dress. That's Io Sky. We'll see how that ad looks for WrestleMania. We'll see how it looks ultimately, but definitely Io. Randy and Speed. Speed has been wrestling, working on his in ring, getting ready for probably a Mania match. Don't be surprised if Speed is in Mania. Soul ain't even come out to Zarya match last night. Sure didn't. Sure didn't. That that relationship should have ended a while ago, if you ask me, but that's just me. Randy making a comeback. Says who? Cody Rhodes is doing this. I don't see it. I don't see Brandy coming back to wrestling, but that's just me. Zarya could cost her the Iron Survivor. She could. They have to speed that up because there haven't really been any real interaction between the two for a while, or at least last Tuesday. So yesterday. So maybe next Tuesday you see some type of moment that kind of leads to a Zarya heel turn at Iron Survivor. That could work. Do you think? Who do you think is winning the men's Iron Survivor? What's the lineup again? Let's see. I know it's here it is. Joe Injury, Miles Bourne, Evan Slater, Leon Lennox. That's his name. I can't remember his name. This looks a little This is probably the weakest lineup we've had. Now to have exciting talent in here, with Javon Evans and Slater. Won't be Joe Hendry, I don't think. It won't be Innate Man. Miles Bourne, it'll be Javon Evans or Miles Bourne. That's what I believe. Javon Evans or Miles Bourne. Women, I'm going Jordan Grace. Would I be shocked if it was Soruka? No, but I'm going Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace and one of these two, Evans or Miles Bourne. Either way, I don't love the lineup. Missing some pizzazz, I think, but it is what it is. Now, the men and the women on a Survivor Challenge to go to the main roster. I've been saying that for a year now. I think the Iron Survivor Challenge needs to go to the main roster. It feels fresh. I think it's more entertaining than WarGames at this point. It lines up perfectly with Survivor Series. Freaking called the Iron Survivor, crying out loud. I think the Iron Survivor needs to make it to the main roster, and WarGames needs to go somewhere else. You do NXT War Games, whatever. But I'm just tired of War Games all around. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the makeshift storytelling and the makeshift teams, and it feels forced every year. So, I mean, Triple H says that, oh, we can't have a Hell in a Cell PLE. Hell in a Cell should be for storyline reasons. That should be the same for War Games. Shouldn't have War Games unless there's an actual storyline reason. Instead of forcing it every year. I guess it's a moneymaker. It makes Survivor Series special. But War Games is used too much now. Next year, I'd love to see the Iron Survivor on the main roster. That'd be really fun to see how that works for the main roster. But it is what it is. Probably won't happen. Shoko Nakajima, what's up? Wait, what's going on? Team JC versus NXT, that could work. What happened to Jada Parker? Who knows? Maybe she's injured, maybe taking a break. Who knows? They could have done NXT versus TNA War Games this year for men and women. That would have worked well. If Oba wins, I think Javon wins to Iron Survivor. Yeah, I could see Javon Evans against Oba. Hopefully, one thing I noticed, I think the draft is done. I think they're done with the draft. They're going to call you up whenever they're ready. I think Trick Williams is done in NXT now. Similar to Lash, where Lash lost to Kendall Gray. I think Trick Williams losing to Miles Bourne and not being in the Iron Survivor, it's an all tell that he's done in NXT. He's heading to the main roster now, I would think. So no more draft. They'll just call you up when they're ready, I think, going forward. So we'll see. All right, any last questions you guys have? Forgot about Jada Parker, damn. Yeah, the draft is done, so you're correct. No more draft. They'll do like they did last Legend. Call you up when they're ready. They're ready for you, you get called up, and that's that. What did I think of Stat and Monet? Oh, very good. Regardless of how the crowd reacted to it, I thought Stat versus Monet was probably her second best match of the year. I would think it wasn't better than match with what's her face. I don't remember her name. It wasn't better than her match with Emerson Jane, but I think it's probably her second best match this year. Right now, it's sitting at 19. Sitting at 19 out of 100 in my list. So I liked it a lot, actually. But yeah. Mercedes Moné, Emerson Jane is still the best Mercedes Moné match this year. Miku versus Mai Sakurai was random. I think so, but you could argue they're doing a full circle storyline because Mai Sakurai defeated Miku Ano for the white belt. So now that Miku Ano has the red belt, the crimson red belt, she's saying, "Oh, I'm gonna take the belt off of you again. Try to stop me," kind of thing. I've been saying for a while now that the storytelling in Japan is weak right now for the Joshi world, and this is no different. But I can understand, hey, you're the one who defeated me for the white belt. Now you're gonna try again for the red belt, and I won't let you. Blah 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 blah. Are they telling that story? Not necessarily, but I can see that if that's what they wanted to do. I agree. It is there's no interesting storylines over there. I mean, the big match right now in Margold is probably not even for the world title. Is Mayu versus the Kamiya Roja, and not even for a Margot belt. It's for a Noah belt, for the GHC belt. That is going to happen at First Dream. So yeah, the lack of storytelling overseas in Japan is not great. But what are you gonna do? Nothing you can do. I'm not watching the tag team tournament in Stardom right now. I couldn't tell you what's happening in Stardom. Hey, they didn't want to put Sai in there. So if they don't want to put Sai Kamatani in that tournament, why should I care about the tournament? Beyond seeing my faves, why should I be interested in watching that tournament when they don't even want to put their golden goose in the tournament? Yeah, the tag titles right now are not really that interesting to me. I'm passing up on that. Oh, Mayu's got a Superfly Championship title match coming up here with Hummingbird. Look at that. Need Mai Sakurai as red belt champion sometime next year. I don't think that's happening. With all due respect to Mai Sakurai, I think her ceiling was the white belt. I say that with all respect in the world. Her ceiling was the white belt. If I had to guess who was going to dethrone Miku Ano sometime next year, boy, I don't know. The tag team tournament in Stardom is underwhelming. I'm not surprised by that one bit. Not one bit am I surprised by that. I was trying to find the damn match card for the longest. I mean, this is the biggest match for Margot coming up here. Not even the world title. Not even the world title. Not even a Margot belt. Come January, Akami Aroha taking on Mayu Iwatani. What do you think of AAA getting a new TV deal before Grand Theft Auto 6? AAA, good for them, or AAA, good for them. I believe they have a TV deal for South America besides Brazil for Fox. I don't know what their deal looks like for USA. I think it'll still be on YouTube in America, but I don't know. There is a war game today. No, it's not. Not today. All right, any last questions before I wrap it up? Huh? I didn't know she putting the belt on the line again. November 13th. Look at that. Her big match is already set. Taking on Suzume in January. Before that, she has a bit of a warm up here. You pretty much know how the match is going to go. When they already booked the big match for January, whatever happens between that, it doesn't really matter, right? This is a automatic win, of course, for Miyu Watanabe, as she gears up to take on Suzume in January for her Princess of Princess Championship belt. It is confirmed for Sinka versus Siri at Marvelous next month. Is that confirmed? The never-ending feud for Marvelous? Interesting. I can see Sinka winning that. Yep, you're not wrong. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. You have Marvelous here. Okay, here it goes. Yep. Sinka versus Siri. Yep. It's happening. What is this match? Let's see. Sinka versus Siri. Okay, cool. And what is the other? Other matches are announced. They've been teasing this forever. I'm glad it's finally happening. Enough's enough. It's been fun, but they need to throw down now in a one-on-one match. Glad that's happening. Triple A, nothing burger. You can enjoy it on YouTube for now, Cyber, but yeah, I agree. They need to get a TV deal at some point to make some money. But then again, remember, Triple A is owned by WWE, so they're fine financially. IU wins the GHC belt, but needs to drop the Superfly belt in January. To who? Theory? No, well, actually, she probably won't, because she probably won't be losing before her match with Takumi Iroha, so she'll probably be double champ if she wins. I believe Noah wants to put that belt on Mayu, so I believe she probably will beat Takumi Iroha, and after that, to be double champ. Because you have that anniversary show coming up. You have that anniversary show for Mayu coming up. You'd probably be double champ going into that. Let's see. I'm like, terrible. Here it is. Here it is. I'll just say I'm terrible at tracking down my own tweets. All right, here we go. That Margot first dream January 3rd. You have Mayu Iwatani's 15th anniversary. I think she'll be double champ heading into this. Margot second anniversary. Here's a spot for her to drop the belt, I think. Her Superfly belt, she drops it in May. She holds it all the way to May, I think. I think Julia returns for one of these shows. For the anniversary show or Summer Destiny, I think get Julia. They wait for Grand Destiny, maybe, but I'm glad they have established some PLEs that are permanent. I think you're gonna get First Dream every year, maybe an anniversary show every year, Summer Destiny every year, and Grand Destiny every year. So that's good to see. That's good to see. Get some established pay-per-views every year that folks can look forward to. Those are the main four, I think. Well, the main three: First Dream, Summer Destiny, and Grand Destiny. Whether they do the anniversary show every year, I don't know. These three for sure every year, I think. First Dream, Summer Destiny, and Grand Destiny. It was great. Great. Anyway, thank you guys for joining the stream. Wrap it up now. Do me a favor, hit like before you close the browser. Hit like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Enjoy tonight's show for AEW. I don't know what the hell's on the show tonight. Evolve. Enjoy that. Maybe you see Kendall Gray. Maybe you'll see Sean Legacy. Enjoy that, and we'll talk later on. Enjoy Thanksgiving, by the way. Eat all you can. Enjoy with the family. Have fun. Talk to you guys later. Peace.